this week because this week I get to talk about one of my favorite franchises ever, Digimon. This week's going to be a little different because instead of doing a general overview plus my thoughts on any one of the Digimon shows, I'm going to be zeroing in on something a little bit more specific. Now, just a heads up here, if you have not been following Digimon Xros Wars II, The Young Hunters Who Leapt Through Time, and are planning on watching it, there are some spoilers here. With that out of the way, let's get started. So I've been following Digimon since I was a kid, and I have seen every single iteration in the franchise. Though each series is generally referred to as a season, this isn't technically correct because each series spans several seasons itself. They are more accurately separate installments in the same franchise, much in the way that there are several different Star Trek shows. Series number 2 was a direct sequel to number 1, but starting at number 3, they've all been pretty separate installments in the franchise, each with separate continuities and the digital world operating under different rules in each series. Fans are fairly divided about which series was best. It was Adventure, or worse, Frontier. Yeah, I said it. Not Data Squad. I actually really love Data Squad, and I don't care what anyone says about it. But in recent episodes, there has been a development that should excite fans across the board. The current series is called Digimon Xros Wars II, The Young Hunters Who Leapt Through Time, and it is a direct sequel to Digimon Xros Wars, and it is series number 7. At the end of episode 14, we saw this spectacular little tease.
俺たちの町が戦いの中心なのか。すまんの。わざわざ集まってもらって出番がなしとはの。
Now, this aired in the beginning of January, and I wasn't making videos yet at that time, or I would certainly have made this video then. But my reaction at the time was something like this.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh!
And I think that was probably every fan's reaction. Now we have waited patiently through a bunch of tiresome Monster of the Week episodes for this awesomeness to resume, and finally, here it is. And man, was it glorious to see Tai burst onto the scene. There is no way to fully convey how much this excited the fangirl in me. I mean, like I said, I love Data Squad and Adventure is my favorite, so to see Tai and Marcus again in this continuity, oh my gosh.
It's so awesome!
Now, it has already been established that characters can conceivably travel between continuities since Rio did it, but none of us actually expected them to do this. This is the kind of thing that fans have been dreaming about and writing fan fiction about for years. What would happen if the characters from different series, or more specifically, the leaders from different series, met each other, had to work together? How would they get along? What would the dynamic be like? And it's particularly exciting for this series because so far Xros Wars II has been following a bunch of characters that really don't know a lot about what's going on. And not the characters that stuck around from Xros Wars 1, but all the characters specific to Xros Wars 2. Just kind of treat Digimon in the digital world like it's one big game. And they haven't got a clue what's actually happening. And don't really seem to care much. Takeru you can kind of forgive for being just a naive, energetic little kid who thinks of Digimon as a really fun hobby. But the rivals all seem to think of themselves as being all that, when in actuality they haven't got a freaking clue. And it's nice to see some real experts arrive on the scene. Personally, I've always wanted to punch them in their smug little faces. Thankfully we have Marcus around now, so maybe we'll get to see that. But as excited as I am about this turn of events, I'm also a little bit trepidatious. As I've said, this is the stuff of fanfic, and maybe it's the kind of stuff that should have been left to fanfic. As I said earlier, fans are incredibly divided on opinions, as fans always are. And since everybody has been dreaming about what this would look like for years, there is no way they can possibly please everyone with what they're going to do. For instance, with all the leaders theoretically present, which one would be the leader of the leaders? It better frickin' be Tai, or I will be so angry. He was the original one, and so help me. Oh, yeah, opinions. Everyone has one. And in all probability, whatever they come up with won't be nearly as awesome as what was in your imagination or your fanfic. Besides which, if they are planning on making any future series, I'm not sure how they think they can top this. Once you've brought back the most badass and awesome of characters from past shows into the current one to build a team of truly epic proportions, I'm not sure where you've got left to go. Unless, you know, they did it again in the future, only this time also include all the video game characters. Like, I'm sorry, but when you've got Tai and Marcus working together, you've pretty much reached the top. There is nowhere to go from there. Of course, if series number 8 would follow the Goggleheads in their own show, that would be, well, pretty much the best thing in the world. I might just die from fangirl happiness if that happens. Anyways, as uncertain as I am about how this will play out, I'm still really excited to see how this develops. It is a nice tie-in, too, to see that each series, while they do exist in their own separate continuities, are at least in some way cosmically tied into one another. It also leaves avenue for imagination wide open, where you could conceivably go to the digital world yourself. And not that I've spent hours inventing my own Digimon with all of its Digivolutions or anything like that.
Change into digital champions to save the digital world. Digimon, digital masters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital masters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital masters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital masters, Digimon are the champions.
While I would love to delve into each show individually and talk about their merits and downfalls and what I thought of each of them, there's a lot of ground to cover there, and someone else has actually already done it way better than I ever could. I highly recommend checking out Sssooo I's Digimon retrospective videos, to which I'll put a link in the description. Well, thanks everyone for watching me nerd out over the most recent development in my favoritist franchise ever. Next week will be a more typical video. If you enjoyed this one, please do like, comment, or subscribe. Especially comment. I love to hear your feedback. Some of you have been recommending some really great looking titles for future videos, and I really appreciate that and would love to hear some more. Alright, see you guys next week. Bye!